On Arrival by Michael Kilman. Read by the author. Data transmission begins. July 26, 2079, 8:37 p.m. Packet received via Titan Communications Grid on July 29, 2083, 11:58 p.m. It's dark. Gods, I wish it wasn't. The pain in my ankles is incredible. I want to scream. I did for a while, but now it doesn't seem to do me a damn bit of good. I guess for the record and for Mary, I should tell you what happened. I know it'll be years before anyone sees this transmission, but by then, I'll be long dead. The initial probes were right. We finally found life on another planet. Turns out that Alpha Centauri BB is teeming with it. Good news considering how hot the Earth is now, right? God, it hurts. I think it's eating me. Fuck. Whatever it's doing, it's not good. Bukowski and I landed on this planet. Our initial scans from orbit indicated that life was highly likely in this region, but we had no idea. Sorry, I think one of its tentacles just crawled up inside my shin. God, what's happening to me? We came down with our shuttle, and when the door opened, you'd swear we were in the fucking Amazon. We got out and we started looking around, set up the base camp, and started deploying the automated biosphere. Things were looking good. In a few months, we would be ready to settle in and wait for the colonists. We started sending data back to the Lincoln. You know, the usual shit: air, temperature, weather patterns, soil samples, of course, plenty of organic samples. We spent half the day cataloging new species. The AI started transmitting data back to Earth almost immediately, so I think you'll get some of those data packets before you see this footage. The air here is breathable, which for me is unfortunate, because if it wasn't, when this plant thing punctured my suit, I would have died, and that would have been the end of it. Bukowski was lucky. His death was quick. We were getting ready to link up the Lincoln and broadcast our first update since orbit, when the big gray thing with 4 arms came stomping out of the woods. It headed right for camp. It looked pissed, and the noises that came out of it, well, if I somehow survive this, I'm going to have nightmares about it the rest of my life. That thing was enormous, and Charlie, I know you're probably watching this, you win the bet. It was bipedal. We thought that maybe it was intelligent because it figured out pretty quick how to get inside the shuttle, and it tore out some of the controls. All we could do was watch. The damn thing was huge, and we hoped it would just leave. And after I finished with the shuttle, it tried to smash the biosphere, but that shit is built to handle a nuke. Then it turned towards us and started to charge, and I shot at it with a .45 that Mary gave me. Yeah, I know, Ralston, we weren't supposed to have weapons, but when your wife wants you packing and you're telling her you're going to be gone for years, you don't tell her no. Believe me when I say we hoped it would just leave. But when it charged, Anyway, I shot the fucking thing right in what I thought it was its head. Hard to tell because it has eyes in several places on its body and 3 different mouths, and all that seemed to do was really piss it off, so it came at us and we ran, and fuck. I can feel its tentacle thing inside my kneecap. It's swishing around in there. It's pulling pieces out again. I don't know why I haven't bled to death already. It must be doing something to prevent that. If only I had one more bullet. Fuck, I would trade anything for one more bullet. And I used the last one on Bukowski. The thing chased us, and he tore Bukowski's leg off, and then his arms, and it started to eat him. He was screaming. I couldn't take it. I had to do something, so I put a bullet in his head and ran off as fast as I could from camp. Damn it. I should have kept running, because when I stopped, I felt something grab my feet. I couldn't tell what it was at first. It looked like some sort of giant purple flower, but then it was flat on the ground. And I tried to struggle away, but the ground was sticky. It was like flypaper. No matter how hard I pulled, I couldn't budge, and I pulled out my knife and I tried to cut myself out, but then the knife got stuck too, and thank the gods I didn't put my hands down there, because I don't think I would have ever gotten them off the ground. Then I started to see steam or smoke or something, and I looked around and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from, and I looked down. Whatever I was stuck to was eating away at my boots. And those things have titanium on the bottom, too. I knew I was in trouble then, because a few minutes later it was through. It was some kind of acid or digestive juice or something. The moment that stuff touched my flesh, the pain, it was unbearable. And then this thing came alive. It was like it suddenly smelled fresh meat. The petal-like things walled up around my waist, and these tentacles, they started opening the wounds. It was like it was eating me from the inside out. I can't even begin to tell you what that feels like. Oh, God. That big creature found me, Must be smart enough to track me, or maybe it heard me screaming. I don't know. It walked right up close to me, close enough to touch me. It took off my helmet, and I could smell it. It smelled like day-old meat sitting in the hot sun. Some of its grayish-white hair was falling off, and it was getting all over me. But it looked down at the plant thing and looked back up at me, and then it ran off in a different direction. I have to sign off for a bit now. I can't. The pain, it's just too much. I gotta find a way out of here. There's gotta be a way. Transmission ends. Data transmission begins July 27th, 2079, 6:35 a.m. Packet received via Titan Communications Grid on July 30th, 2083, 9:01 a.m. It's waist deep now. I can't feel anything anymore. Last thing I felt was something snaking up my spine, and then nothing. My whole body's numb. I'm paralyzed from the neck down. If the camera wasn't voice activated, I wouldn't be transmitting. I spent most of the night crying. Not ashamed to say that. I'm scared. I'm so sorry, Mary. I know we didn't leave off on the best of terms. I love you, baby. Charlie. At one point, this thing lifted me up a little higher. What I saw, all east of my position, as far as the eye can see, are these purple plants. There must be thousands of them. Bring some fucking flamethrowers or something if you send more people out here. Make sure you come to this planet armed. Something's happening. This plant thing, it's making a weird noise, and Transmission ends. Data transmission begins July 27th, 2079, 3:04 p.m. Packet received via Titan Communications Grid on July 30th, 2083, 6:58 p.m. I should be dead. I can't explain why I'm not. It stopped consuming me. I'm chest deep. I would have thought I would have reached my internal organs, that would have been it. But it stopped. I actually feel pretty good, just a little sleepy. Maybe it fell asleep for a while, or maybe it didn't like what it was eating. I don't know, I just feel so tired. Transmission ends. Data transmission begins July 29th, 2079, 7:58 a.m. Packet received via Titan Communications Grid on August 2nd, 2083, 11:43 a.m. Shoktak, Livyet Romana Shusha, Yipla, am forgetting some of my Noktak English. Trying to focus. One moment. Deep breath, Anders, deep breath. It wasn't eating me, it was reshaping me. It's hard to explain. Yesterday I woke up to find the purple petals were wrapped around me like a new spacesuit. My legs, they look like the same as the creature that chased us. My torso is still human, I think. But when I woke up, I was free. So not knowing what else to do, I headed back to camp. No sign of the other thing around either. The biosphere is growing nicely. I think I'm going to be okay. These words keep swimming around in my head, and I don't know where they're coming from, but I think it's going to be okay. More later. Transmission ends. Data transmission begins August 2nd, 2079, 11:01 p.m. Packet received via Titan Communications Grid on August 5th, 2083, 3:01 a.m. I had some visitors today, and Livyat Romana Shushka Kalin. Sorry, if I don't focus, I slip back into their tongue. That's what those words are. They're teaching me a lot now. They say they're friendly, but I don't know. The flowers, they're incubators, genetic modifiers. They change whatever they come in contact with, like they did me. They told me they've been watching our planet for a long time. Our television, our radio. They were ready when we came. They knew we were coming. Had a couple of years to prep since we were talking about coming out here for years before we made it happen. That creature that killed Bukowski, it's like a dog. They sent it after us to lure one of us into the flowers so they could communicate with us. Shit, they even apologized for the pain it caused me, and for Bukowski. But I got some bad news, and I hope this reaches you before they do. They watched how we colonized our own kind, how we destroyed our own planet. They have no intention of letting us spread off our world. They say we have wasted our opportunity and will not allow us to waste other worlds. They have plans for us. But they wouldn't say what. I mean, they can't be all bad, can they? I'm alive. I don't know what to think. I don't know what kind of technology they have or how fast they travel, but they're coming. I don't know why they're letting me warn you. They told me to transmit, told me to tell you everything they told me. They're harvesting millions of those purple flowers in preparation. They're coming. Oh gods, they are coming. I don't know what that means for those of you watching. Sorry, Mary, I love you. Bukowski? Is that you? Transmission ends. Final transmission. Data from SWORD, High Earth Orbit Satellite Defense System. December 10th, 2085, 9:51 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Warning, warning, warning. Detection of multiple incoming objects. Objects appear hostile and are on a direct collision course with Earth. Preliminary data suggests that these objects are not natural in origin. Objects have corrected course on several occasions. Estimated time of impact, 17 days, 9 hours, and 30 minutes. Impact likely in the following locations: New York, Chicago, London, Madrid, Paris, Tokyo, Beijing, Seoul, Sao Paulo, Cairo, Jakarta, Delhi, Buenos Aires, Istanbul, Tehran, Bangalore, Ho Chi Minh City, Lima, Melbourne, Mexico City, Cape Town, Jeddah, Tel Aviv, Katowice, Budapest, Denver, Munich, Accra. Suggested course of action: unknown, unknown, unknown.